Robert Kiyosaki is a legendary figure who has changed the way how people look at money. An entrepreneur, investor, author and motivational speaker by profession, he audaciously is said to have commented that the reason why most of the people today are struggling financially is because despite years of formal education and training, they do not know anything about money. He is the author of the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, which ever since the time of its release, scaled to become the #1 personal finance book of all time. The book draws a comparison between his biological dad who was educated but poor and fictitious dad who was a college dropout but the wealthiest man in Hawaii. Today, a stalwart in his own right, this tycoon entrepreneur however had the most humble beginning. Interestingly, the man who has become a multi-millionaire teaching people how to become rich was himself a failure at one point of time and had twice gone bankrupt with his business ventures. However, he did not succumb to the downfall and instead started teaching people how not to become poor and evade erroneous financial decisions. Robert Kiyosaki was born to Ralph H. Kiyosaki in Hilo, Hawaii. He had a Japanese-American ancestry. His father was a teacher and instructor by profession, which enabled young Kiyosaki to attend better educational institutes. Completing his education, he started working on merchant ships, which allowed him to travel to various parts of the world. These journeys exposed him to new cultures and new ways of life. Furthermore, he witnessed extremes of poverty that people faced around the world. These voyages left a profound impact on him. From 1974 until 1978, he took up the profile of a salesman for Xerox Corporation selling copy machines. Meanwhile, in 1977, having saved enough money, he started a company of his own that brought forth to the market the first nylon and Velcro surfer wallets. Despite reaching the rock-bottom pit-low mark of his life, he did not lose hope and instead used his experience and knowledge to help people and educate them on how to avoid bankruptcy and achieve financial success. He began working as a motivational speaker for a personal growth seminar business called Money and You, along with DC Cordova. The 3-day seminar mostly focused on teaching students the works of Buckminster Fuller. Predominantly present only in Canada and United States, the popularity of the business allowed them to spread their wings to Australia and New Zealand as well. The popularity, growth and universal appeal of this business venture turned profitable, and he became a multi-millionaire. However, he did not continue the same for long and instead left Money and You in 1994 to take up early retirement. He was only 47 years of age then. Following the footsteps of his educator Poor Dad and guidance and advice of his Rich Dad, who in reality was his friend's dad, he concentrated on amalgamating the two lines of beliefs to come up with a book which highlighted the teaching of both his Rich Dad and Poor Dad. He collaborated with Sharon Lechter and together they co-wrote the first Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. However, they could not find a publisher for the same and hence decided on publishing it on their own. Rich Dad Poor Dad, published in 2000, advocates financial independence and teaches its readers the importance of building wealth through investments in real estate and the starting and owning of business. The book sold 10 million copies, becoming a bestseller. First, we need to know about financial statements. Here is how the Rich Dad taught Robert about the difference between an asset and a liability in simple terms. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money from your pocket. The success of the book led to the release of the future works, Rich Dad's Cash Flow Quadrant and Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. Furthermore, he released a dozen of other books. In 2002, he bought silver mine in South America and took control over a gold mining company in China. In 2010, he appeared at the Alex Jones Show wherein he revealed his assets including big apartment complexes, hotels and golf courses. He is also the head and investor of oil drilling operations as well as oil wells and even a startup solar company. His first 3 books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Rich Dad's Cash Flow Quadrant, and Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, have been #1 on the top 10 bestseller lists simultaneously on the Wall Street Journal, USA Today and the New York Times. It was the success of these books that propelled him to further continue with the series, which today comprises of 15 books which together have done a business of over 26 million. Additionally, he appeared on programs such as The Oprah Winfrey Show, Fox and Friends, Larry King Live, The O'Reilly Factor, The Alex Jones Show, Glenn Beck, and Your World with Neil Cavuto. This is all about Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki's life story. He didn't become famous easily, rather than he also struggled a lot to become successful.